If you're trading natural gas and it feels like the market is trading one step ahead of you, you're not crazy. And you're just trading without a real edge or a real plan. So, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the truth in natural gas trading. So, this is going to tell you why most traders miss the move and what the pros actually do that's a little bit different. And you can incorporate this into your trading and you will be more successful. So, the truth about natural gas, what is really happening, what's behind the charts, how to trade with an edge in 2025, presented by Brian Pieri with Energy Rogue and Rogue Edge at our side. So, what this session covers. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about why most natural gas traders fail to consistently win, the three psychological traps that sabotage smart traders, the five real signals that drive market moves. And lastly, how pro traders prepare and what they use to see ahead into the marketplace. So that's what we're going to cover today. So the reality is that most don't talk about. There's wild volatility when it comes to natural gas. There are geopolitical ripple effects, and there are fake outs driven by weather, exports, headlines, chatter, anything. LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, any one of these platforms. And if you spend more than 10 minutes on natural gas, you're going to be completely confused. So, natural gas is one of the most brutal markets in the world. It's one of the most volatile futures commodities there are. And most edge gets wiped out with a delay or distraction. So, in gas trading, late by a few hours is the same thing as being wrong. So, you have to plan, pre-plan, post-plan. There's a lot of planning. So anyway, we're gonna talk about that, but let's first talk about the cost of failure. I've a quick introduction to myself. I've been trading energy commodities, specifically natural gas, since the mid 1990s. I have seen it from the contract inception all the way to today, and there's been a wave of changes, and it continues to change. I sat on one trade floor, a $500 million trade desk, shut down by one options trader. He shut down the entire office because of one bad position that he kept chasing, and he had misappropriated risk, and it created a company failure. So that was 100% loss. So if you're losing on natural gas, don't punish yourself, come up with a plan. And that's what this session is going to help you do. So why do most traders fail? They react instead of prepare. The impact, they have missed entries and they panic trade. They track too many sources manually. That's number two. Information overload, and it leads to slow decisions. They have too many signals going on. If you have too many signals, you're going to have analysis paralysis and you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck because you're not going to have clarity to make a decision. So they don't understand the market structure. They misread the signals and it leads to overtrading. So these are good traders just trapped in noisy, outdated workflows. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear the deck and create a plan together today. So that's what we're going to do. Now, what are the psychological traps? These are the three psychological traps that most traders fall into. I'll just check a few more things. You stall when it's time to act. And this is where the pre-planning process comes into play. So you pre-plan and then you plan and then you post-plan. So you do it before, during, and after. And that is actually one of the things is to know when to act, and when to act, you jump on it. So the second is analysis paralysis. This is too much data and it's not leading to enough clarity. So that's the second thing. What's the third thing? Confirmation bias. Your gut tells you, oh, it's going to go up, or your gut tells you it's going to go down. You have to listen to the market signals, and sometimes your risk plan is going to stop you out of trades. You need to listen to those stops. Those stops are going to prevent you from losses over a long period of time. The market may reverse and you may be quote unquote right, but If you have misallocated risk, it could blow up your entire trading book. So if you need 12 open tabs to justify a trade, you don't have an edge. You need to have clarity. It's about reaching a clarity point. So that is actually what it's about. So now let's talk about the planning process. So what is the planning process? You pre-plan, establish a strategy before the market opens, before you enter a trade, and then you execute. You execute that plan with discipline, and you actually implement the pre-plan and have a risk plan associated with it. And then post plan, you review the review the results and adjust accordingly. You may adjust your trade mid-trade, or you may adjust the strategy, and the next trade you pre-plan a little bit differently. You incorporate something new. So the best traders pre-plan, plan, and post-plan. That's a lot of planning, but it is necessary to be successful. So what are the 5 market signals that actually move natural gas? Supply. This gets into production rates, storage, when we're actually taking out of storage, and imports. Okay, so during the winter, we actually are supplying some of the supply from storage withdrawals. So that goes into the supply mix. So looking at the rate of how much is coming out of storage alongside the imports, which are relevant today, especially with all the tariff talk with Canada. We import 6 to 8% of our natural gas from Canada. And then production, are we growing? Are we declining? These are key metrics that you need to track. Second is demand. The power burn in the summer is super important, especially when it comes into storage injections. Summer season is when storage is injected into the ground because there's a natural surplus of natural gas. But if you have a lot of power demand, you may not have as much go into the ground or into storage. Heating demand in winter, this is residential, commercial. This drives most of the market. And if you look at those two markets, that is where the swing in the market is coming into play. So the next layer is going to be exports, pipeline exports to Mexico, LNG terminals. How much are we exporting? And that can change on a day, on a week, on a month. So exports can come into play in a big way. For instance, in 2022, Freeport had an outage, and that created approximately a 300 to 400 BCF storage overhang into storage that lasted over 2 years. Now, this is where exports come into play. Do we have enough export capacity? Are we exporting enough? If those exports get turned around because of international dynamics, what actually happens to the prices? That's when the prices will drop precipitously. So weather, cold snaps, hurricanes, El Nino, La Nina, all of these matter because these will drive how much supply is going to be driven in residential commercial demand, how much in power demand, and how much we actually put into storage. So these are 3 key metrics that you should evaluate when you're on top of natural gas. Lastly, I know it sounds like it doesn't impact things, but it does. Crude oil and geopolitical events, associated gas and global stocks. So global stocks, what is actually happening to the macro market impacts things because 20%, over 20% of the US supply is from the Permian. The Permian is drilled for oil, not for natural gas. So if oil prices drop, we may have less drilling in the Permian, which means in turn less natural gas that is going to come from associated sources, which means it is likely a bullish signal. But this changes on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. So understanding supply, demand, exports, weather, crude oil, and geopolitical, all of these matter every single day and every single week for you and your trading strategy. If you don't track these, you're reacting, not trading. And it's a good time to implement our disclaimer. not a financial advisor. Please, none of this is a trading recommendation. Please do your own research and seek advice of a professional financial advisor. I am a professional trader and I've been so. So these are my opinions, my approach. This is how I have found success. And you might be able to incorporate these. But before you implement anything, please seek the advice of a financial advisor and know that this is not a recommendation to buy or sell a stock, commodity, or any financial instrument. So there is a link down below to our risk disclaimer. You can read more about that. So trading reality check. Let's actually look at this. So winning trades, even the best traders have losses. You will have losses. Losing trades, that is part of every trader's journey. Have a systematic approach. It doesn't have to be an algo system. It doesn't have to be a mechanized system, an automatic system, but have a systematic approach to where you can, at a bare minimum, minimally say, well, at this level, I'm going to start thinking about an exit if it's going against you. Or if it's going for you, maybe that's when you monetize. So focus on the process, not individual trades, and do develop your own risk management plan. Because if you're not planning for your risk, you will fail. Period. So break even trades. Sometimes that's the best outcome. Getting back to a break even and live to fight another day. So no trader is going to win 100%. You will not win 100%. There is no foolproof game or system. So what do bad trades look like? EIA comes out, you hyper react to the news. Oh, it's more than expected, so you buy or sell. And guess what? Because of that haphazard approach, you're not going to have the pre-planning, the planning as part of your process before storage comes out. Actually have an idea. If this happens and there's a surprise, what do I do? Do I jump on a trade? Do I take a contrarian trade? Pre-plan that and play it out in your mind. And you may say that the market overreacted a particular way. You're going to take a short, but recognize if you take a short and it continues and it trades against you, what are you going to do to bail yourself out? This is super important. Understanding your risk. And there's a great risk method in The Turtle Trader. It's a book by Michael Cavell. And if you need it, just drop me a link below and I'll send you a link over to it. So weather forecast changes. This is another one that can change on a dime. And as weather changes, you need to change your plan. This is part of the pre-planning. Then weather has a different idea during the planning approach. You change what you're going to do. The chatter on Twitter, no, I'm not going to call it X. I know everybody calls it X, but you get distracted by the social media noise. There are a lot of good voices out there, but if you listen to more than 3 of them, you're probably likely to get confused on, well, wait, well, they're saying bullish, they're saying bearish. Which one is going to trade in that particular direction? And then you're watching charts, you're bouncing between 5 tabs on TradingView. It's by the time you feel good about a trade, it's over. So what do pro traders do? This is when they prepare with a plan, they pre-plan. And before the volatility hits, they have an idea. They may not have absolute stop losses in there, but they have an idea. If this happens, I'm going to consider blank. And that may be hedging, that may be trading another correlated trade, and stay neutral. They stay off the emotion, they stay off the hype. It's important not to get emotional about your trade. I just knew it. Everybody gets caught in this trap. I do. And you have to hold your emotions in check. So you also filter your signal from the noise from a structured framework, and then you act decisively. Don't wait until it feels right. They act with confidence. That's part of the pre-plan and planning process that you're going to have in play. Okay, so that is part of the pre-plan, plan, and you act decisively. So, introducing Rogue Edge. So we track all 5 of these market signals with a complete coverage of what actually moves the markets. We have a red light, green light trading framework, and we see that momentum, and it saves 10 to 30 hours of research every single week. This is going to eliminate manual research time. We have one dashboard for total clarity. No noise, no fluff, just actionable intelligence. So this is what Rogue Edge looks like. We start with Rogue Radar, which to begin the week, we start with a video and we start with our Monday outline of what is actually happening in the market with price levels, and we cover these every single week. So every Monday, you start your plan with here's what's happening Monday morning before the market opens. This gets you started. It is a weekly video with a detailed report, PDF report that you can actually click, and it's going to give you all of the inputs, outputs, so that you can visually see where do we sit, and it is going to break down natural gas as well as crude oil. Where do we sit on those bases? So that is actually what Rogue Edge starts with. Then, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you dive into Rogue Edge, the dashboard. Now, this dashboard has over 150 interactive downloadable charts. And now these charts take a look at supply, and this is where the magic comes into play. You may have an idea, such as here's the supply for the last couple of years. What does that curve looks like? Well, looks like 2021 we just built, and then we've been kind of flat with a drop in 2024. So we've recovered from that drop, but are we going to continue up? This is where some of the trend analysis comes into play. So this is where you can get in deep into understanding, as you can notice, some of the 5 things: weather, supply, demand, balance, storage, and the financials. So this is where we track all 5 of those market signals. And later in the week, we actually put together this report that is Rogue Radar. This covers storage, weather, production in a simple red light, green light, and it gives you the current state, the outlook, what the notes are as far as what the 5-year average looks like, and what is actually driving this right now. So, for example, on Canadian imports, are they back? Seeing April 2nd will look is key because that is impact to tariffs. So looking at each one of these components, and in addition to that 5, we actually track the international markets, European storage, European LNG, and Mexico. All of these are critical. So having a system is part of an approach. You can develop this system yourself. It will probably take 10 to 30 hours a week. And we put all of this into one place, into a platform that some people pay thousands of dollars a month for a platform like this. Rogue Edge is $179 a month, and that gives you access to everything you want to know. You can look at trends in the marketplace as far as what kind of supply trends we're having. For instance, you may look at this and say, oh, wait a second, we're actually in decline right now. We are actually dropping on our volume. So that is actually important information to know. And then if you needed a little personalized assistance, there is an AI trading strategist. So this is actually going to give you a guidance of how to trade for that particular week. And then if you need a little personalized experience from humans, you can get into our Discord channel. So you hop into Discord and you'll actually see what is happening in the marketplace right here. You'll actually see we discuss the market every single day, and we get into individual data elements, what people are saying in Twitter, what is actually happening, the outlook, and we like to have a little fun. There's Arnold Schwarzenegger, but we take a look at the market open, and this was pointing to a higher open, which is what we did. And then we actually evaluate where we're going to go from here. So one dashboard for total clarity, and that's going to give you all 5 market signals plus have access to our team of energy experts, plus have access to an AI energy trading strategist. So a live dashboard, that's our sneak peek. And this is a shift that you must make in 2025 if you're going to be successful in natural gas trading. So trade smarter, come up with a plan, pre-plan, plan, post-plan. Use data-driven decisions instead of emotions, and spot spikes earlier. Identify those opportunities before the crowd. Avoid overtrading. Focus on the high probability setups. This is going to take a lot of time. This is part of the pre-planning process. And enjoy trading again. If you follow a structure, if you follow a system, and that system is these are the steps, and these are the steps that I use. So you can feel free to develop your own system. You may have, as a matter of fact, my business partner Bill has a trading system based upon natural gas and sonic stock. Sounds crazy, but there's a long thesis there. We'll talk about it in one of our live streams, or just what is the sonic trading strategy. Type that in the comments and we'll let you know. So reduce stress with a systematic approach. So transform your trading approach from guesswork to a signal-based preparation. Go from a tabs everywhere where you have multitude of information overload into one powerful view. And that's what we did with Rogue Edge. So we have a bias. We believe we've created the single view that you need to provide human, AI, and data in one place so that you can come up with a clear strategy and go from reactive behavior to a pro level edge. And if you don't take your trading seriously, you're not going to have serious results. Okay, so you need to put time, money, and effort into your trading if you're going to be successful. So give yourself a pro level edge and spend a lot of time on the pre-planning. So are you ready to trade like a pro? Try Rogue Edge. No fluff, no BS, just data and clarity. It's built by traders for traders. If you have questions, drop a comment below and I will get back to you personally. So subscribe for more trading insights. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will save you time by giving you a roadmap for efficient trading strategies and give you a fresh new perspective on how to look at trading. And join the conversation. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. What do you think is most important for natural gas trading? So that's what I've got today. It's about 23 minutes. I think I did a pretty good job. Let me know if you think I did a horrible job, and I'd love to see you inside of Rogue Edge. And if you join, I will spend a session with you and personally customize your trading approach with you on our introductory call. So if you join Rogue Edge today, just sign up below and we will see you inside. I hope you have a fantastic